They might only be 5 points off Manchester City at the moment, but things feel like they're beginning to go wrong for Arsenal this season. Mikel Arteta's side dropped points at home to Liverpool just over a week ago, and in a must-win game away to Newcastle United over the weekend, came away empty-handed for the second time in as many seasons. In all, it's starting to look like the Gunners' bid for Premier League glory at the third time of asking is beginning to fall apart at the seams. However, there is still time for the club to correct their trajectory, and based on recent reports, it looks like they could be about to go big on their first signing in the post-Edu Gasper era, even if it's bad news for Kai Havertz. Arsenal transfer news. According to a recent report out of Spain, via Football 365, Arsenal are now incredibly keen to sign Newcastle United star Alexander Isak. In fact, the report claims that the Gunners will now go all out to land the incredibly talented striker as soon as possible and are prepared to make an offer in the region of 120 million euros, which converts to about 101 million pounds. The good news is that, according to the story, while the Toon don't want to sell the exceptionally gifted Swede, an offer of this magnitude could change their mind. Alexander Isak celebrates for Newcastle. It would represent a mammoth investment, but considering Isak's ability, one well worth making, even if the striker's arrival would impact Havertz's game time. How Isak compares to Havertz. So, if Arsenal were able to get their man in this window or the next, his biggest competition for the starting number 9 role would be Havertz. But how do the pair compare? Well, from a pure output perspective, it's the Swede who comes out ahead, but it's not quite as straightforward as it first appears. For example, in his 40 appearances for the Magpies last season, the former Real Sociedad star racked up an imposing tally of 25 goals and 2 assists, equating to an average of a goal involvement once every 1.48 games. In contrast, the Gunner star could only muster up 14 goals and 7 assists in 51 matches last season, equating to an average goal involvement every 2.32 games. However, that number includes the 32 appearances he made in midfield. But when we look at the 18 he made in the center forward position, he racked up an impressive tally of 8 goals and 7 assists, meaning he actually averaged a goal involvement once every 1.2 games. Moreover, this season has seen the former Chelsea ace score 7 goals and provide 1 assist in 15 games, while the Swedish international has scored 4 goals and provided 1 assist in 10 matches, equating to an average of a goal involvement once every 1.87 and 2.00 games, respectively. Okay, so if it's not entirely clear who the better goal scorer is from their raw output, which international comes out on top when we look at their underlying numbers? Unfortunately for the unborn star, this is where his luck runs out, as the Magpies' superb forward, as dubbed by Alan Shearer, comes out ahead in the majority of relevant metrics, including non-penalty expected goals and assists, progressive carries into the penalty area, shots, key passes, and goal-creating actions. Ultimately, it might be a closer comparison than many realize, but as his underlying numbers suggest, Isak is the better overall center forward. Therefore, if Arsenal have the chance to sign him either in January or the summer, they have to take it. Moreover, his arrival doesn't have to be the end for Havertz, as having both players to choose from can only bolster the club's chances of finally lifting the Premier League title.